Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Frazier Field for Greater Boston League Baseball. Link Classical, the Rams, entertaining Revere. The Patriots, not the New England Patriots, the Revere Patriots. I mentioned before, Classical and English jumped over to the Greater Boston League. Revere initially was in the Greater Boston League. I did their games when I did Everett football games. They were in the Greater Boston League for many years. They jumped over to the Northeastern Conference, and then just as English and Classical were going over to the GBL, Revere announced they were going back. So 3 of the Northeastern Conference teams jumped in. Masconomet moved into the Northeastern Conference. So bouncing all over the place. Classical having a very good year. They've only lost once. That was to a very good Reading team that's a notch above Classical, I think, division-wise. Let's see if Classical can put it back together again. They had a really, I want to say, difficult time. I mean, they won the game, but they had a horrible, horrible night here against Chelsea, I give the Chelsea coach all the credit in the world. He's working with people who've never played the game before. They're getting buried every game. I give credit to the kids, too, because they're not quitting. They're out there working as hard as they can, doing what they can. But you just can't compete anywhere. If they were playing a JV schedule, they probably wouldn't win a game. And it was a horrible night, and Classical had to try and, I said, Mike Zimorowski told me he had backup outfielders who were playing the infield, and Classical actually stayed on the field for 6 outs to get the game over with. After they had a humongous first inning, and they wound up just running all over Chelsea. So now they have to put that behind them and get back to working against a pretty good Revere team who's 5-3, 5-2 in the league. And it's Mikey Pop, the shortstop, will lead it off for the Patriots. Swing and a miss. Cal Durant on the mound threw that high fastball, and Pop swung right through it. On the corner, another good fastball. 2-0. High for a ball. Again, this is a young Classical team. Durant on the mound. Wilson is in center field for this one. Those are the only 2 seniors. Hit to third. Figueroa. Very nice play. He's having an outstanding year defensively for Classical. Wilson not going to get him. That's an infield hit for Don Boudreau. But Figueroa made that great play. He's only a freshman. Defensively, he's playing extremely well for Classical. Giancarlo Murd, the first baseman, is the hitter. Mike Manning is the head guy for Revere. Swing and a miss. Rich DeMazzo, his assistant. Of course, Ricky Mayette has been with Mike Shukowski on the Classical bench for a long time. Dynamic duo. Murd getting his money's worth on both swings and swung right through both. Very short lead at first base. And as I say that, the runner takes off. He's in easy with a stolen base. Oh, Revere has the first runner in scoring position. Hit in the air, foul. Pulled it, got out in front of it, hit it well. Hit it well, foul, off to the left side. Way over his head, goes to the backstop. He just saw his life pass in front of him there with that going right over his head. So the wild pitch. Boudreau, a hit, stolen base, wild pitch. He's at third base with one out. Count evens at 2. And he does it again. Over the head of the hitter. So Boudreau manufactures a run. I don't know if the ball is wet. It was, as I was coming up the press box, the rain started. It came down pretty good. The black clouds have hopefully gone away. Foul tip, just got a piece. Guzman almost held on. Murd reached for that one. And he stays alive. Figueroa with another great play. Not bad for a freshman. Outstanding play. That was a shot and a half by Murd. Two very nice defensive plays by Figueroa here in the first inning. Max Doucette, the catcher, is the hitter. Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2. That bounces off the catcher. They're going to have to hurry. They don't get him. Chased that pitch. It was down in the turf. And he winds up at first base. And that extends the inning. For Brendan Sack. He's DHing for the second baseman, Chris Cassidy. The runner takes off, in with a stolen base. So both runners reaching, stealing. First one scored on 2 major league wild pitches. So Revere winds up with 4 outs in the inning. High for a ball. Down and away for a ball. Out at second base. Now they call him safe. They drop the ball. Doucette looked like he was going to steal third. Durant quickly to Medina. They put the tag down. The umpire said out, but then he realized they didn't hold on to the baseball. So the runner, Doucette at second base, gets 2 lives. High and tight for a ball. Doucette was out twice. He struck out and reached. Now he's out at second, but they dropped the ball. He's used up 2 of his 9 lives. And that's ball 4. So the inning extended a little bit longer for Chris Secker, the right fielder. In for a strike. High for a ball. Hit in the air. Wilson, the center fielder, drifts over, makes a one-handed catch. So the inning is finally over. Durant has put himself in a hole on the scoreboard with those 2 major league wild pitches. Revere has given their pitcher, Cal Cummings, a 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the first inning. He did it with 1 base hit. And that base hit scored after a stolen base and 2 wild pitches. So if you're classical, you said we had to score at least a run anyway to win this. So Armani Medina, the second baseman, will lead off. Pitching and batting second, Kyle Durant. The center fielder, Tyler Wilson, bats third. In the cleanup spot, hitting fourth, is Brady Warren, the shortstop. The first baseman, Christian Spates, hits number 5. Batting sixth and catching, Janelle Guzman. The DH, Nico Ramirez, hitting for the third baseman, who made those 2 very nice plays, Christian Figueroa, will hit number 7. Playing right field and batting eighth is Yassin Bakuch. And bringing up the tail end of the batting order, the left fielder, Leon Donnell, hitting number 9. Normally, start of this game, we don't have the lights on because normally the sun is shining and the weather is good. We're at the end of April, but the weather has been miserable all the way through. Everybody wearing 3 or 4 layers of clothes, blankets, gloves, scarves, anything you wear to put on to keep you warm. And it's not getting any better. I think I saw where this being Wednesday, I think I saw it next week, starting Monday or Tuesday, we might have at least one day up in the 70s. So hopefully that'll be the start of getting spring out and bringing summer in. Armani Medina. He'll lead it off, the second baseman. Manning Field going is, I guess it's, I'm going to guess it's track practice. They're not having a meet. Swing and a miss. Always something going on at both these places. He ducks under the curveball that broke late, high and tight. We were going on even in the parking lot over at Manning Field. I believe that's St. Mary's track team. Running up the hills, working out. They use during the day, they come in, they use the track, and then if people come in, the track teams or whatever going on at Manning Field, they go out in the parking lot and run the hills. Low for a ball. So we had a 0-1, now it's 3-1. Foul tip held on to by the catcher, Doucette. The count goes full. The payoff pitch. In on the hands, he swung right through it. So he got ahead, fell behind, comes back and gets him. Cal Durant, the pitcher, will be the hitter. In for a strike. Quickly 0-2. Hit the third. Big hop for the third baseman. Svensson, the third baseman, over to Murd. Play goes 5-3 to get Durant for the second out. It will bring up Tyler Wilson, the center fielder. I mentioned again, finishing up a great career, 3 sports: soccer, basketball, baseball. And one of those really nice kids. Slicing it the other way, off to the left side, long run, it's foul. Few faithful classical fans, including Vice Principal Chris Warren and his family were here all the time, his wife, rooting Brady on. High for a ball. Yeah, one of those black clouds comes out over the park again. And it's all dark down the left field line. Big puffy white clouds and blue sky that was overhead has now gone by. And it actually brightens up here. There's a spot almost over third base where there's a big patch of blue sky, white cloud, and the sun peeks through. Must be New England. Lined in the right center field for a base hit. In the gap. In easily. He went head first in the second, but he could have gone in easily. He's got a double. Tyler having a very good year. Both in the field, on the mound, and with the bat. And even though it's brightening up, I think it's the rain coming down a little bit again. A couple of people putting umbrellas up. Brady Warren, another multi-sport athlete, basketball, baseball. Down and in for a ball. Classical looking for a little 2-out lightning to try and tie the game up. Hit in a right field for a base hit. They're sending the runner. He'll score easily. He's throwing home. That's going to allow Brady Warren to go to second base. 2-out lightning for Glasgow. Brady Warren with the big hit. Wilson with the double keeps it alive. Warren gets the tying run in. And when they throw the ball through the plate, which was way too late, Warren gets himself in scoring position. It's funny, all dark clouds over the park, right field, left field, one little spot over in foul territory behind third base makes it appear as though the sun is shining brightly. Brady Warren forgot there were 2 outs. Spates got under it, skied it. So that momentum that Revere had is taken away quickly. The 2-out Lightning, the double by Warren, the 2-out hit, the double by Wilson, the 2-out hit by Warren gets Classical on the board, and we're right back where we started, dead even. Classical 1, Revere 1 at the end of 1. Ollie Svensson, the third baseman, will lead off. 7, 8, and 9 for Revere against Cal Durant starting the second inning. Wide for a ball. High and tight for a ball. High and tight again, 3-0. In for a strike. He started at first base. Umpire says, come on back. Laid off, the pitch that was high. Now, the plate umpire brought his right hand up. I think he was pointing towards first base. I almost thought he called a strike. So the leadoff hitter is on for Revere. Sal DeAngelis. The left fielder will be the hitter. In for a strike. Figueroa was shortened up at third, thinking he might bunt. He almost threw it away. Nice job by Spates, picking that Durant shot hopped it to him, and Spates was able to block it and pick it. Chased that pitch and taps it to the Revere dugout. And it's 0-2. Broke down and away. That had a little bit of bite to it. Svensson easily getting back to first base on the throw over. Hit to third. They get one. He dropped the ball second, but he came off the bag trying to make the throw, so the out was already made. They knew they weren't going to get two. They get the important one. Figueroa makes his third play. Medina gets the putout. So now there's a runner at first with one out. For Kyle Cummings, the pitcher. Miss wide for a ball. In for a strike. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. Call third strike on the corner. Nice pitch by Durant. Cummings didn't think so. 2-way at the top of the order. Mikey Pop. Figueroa made a nice play on his hit to third and threw him out, leading off the ball game. High for a ball. They throw it down. Svensson gets back. Fishing wide for a ball. Hit foul back up in the seats. High for a ball. Hit in the air. Wilson now giving way. Almost looked like it was going to left center field. The breeze kind of blew it back. Leon Donnell. Wilson was coming over left center. Looked like he was going to make the play, and all of a sudden Donnell made the play. That breeze is blowing very hard. Not going to be easy. So Revere gets the leadoff hitter on with the walk, but they come up empty. Durant picked up his second strikeout. And for the first time, Classical coming up in the second could take the lead. As we're tied 1-1. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for Classical as Kyle Cummings, the pitcher for Revere, will start his second inning. Just cold enough. The breeze really flying around here, and that showed on that play. That ball was up in the air, and anything up in the air is going to be an adventure. Janelle Guzman, the catcher, will lead it off for the Rams. Both teams scoring in the first inning. Classical shut Revere out in the second. Hit foul to the backstop. A little different than the last game for Classical. We're in the second inning. This is the sixth hitter up. Yesterday in the first inning, Classical batted almost 3 times around. Foul tip held on to by the catcher, Duchette. Good curveball. He knew it too. It looked like it was inside. It broke right over the inside corner. Nice pitch by Cummings. His second strikeout. Nico Ramirez, DHing for Christian Figueroa, the third baseman, is the hitter. Waves that that pitcher was up and away. This is one of the few times that the team doesn't have to take a long trip. Revere is just down the road a piece. Most of the time you travel to Chelsea, Everett, Malden, Medford, Somerville. Hit in the air. Long run for the first baseman. Runs out of real estate as it's up in the seats. Oh, 2 the count to Ramirez. Hangs high, the curveball. A few more umbrellas popping up among the classical fans. He jammed them and he popped it up. It was to the second base side, but the shortstop pop called the second baseman Cassidy off and made the play. And that's again up in the air, floating away from the shortstop. But he stayed with it and made the play. 2 up, 2 down for Yassine Bakouch, the right fielder. Hit right back to the pitcher. Hesitated and then throws him out. So that we have our first 1-2-3 inning. And it's put up by Cummings, the pitcher for Revere. So we played 2 here at Frazier Field. Nothing to choose between these 2 GBL teams. Classical 1, Revere 1. Two, 3, and 4 for Revere as we start the third inning. Don Boudreau got an infield hit to deep shortstop. Stole second and walked around on 2 Major League wild pitches by Durant that at the time gave Revere their 1-0 lead. In for a strike. Hit in the air, popped up. Brady Warren, about 1 step on the outfield grass, makes the play. Giancarlo Murd, the first baseman. Christian Figueroa made a very nice play. He hit the ball solid. Figueroa made the play and threw him out. As we mentioned, Figueroa made 3 plays in the first 2 innings. Two very nice plays. Down and away for a ball. On the corner again. 1 and 2. Hit foul out of play. The 1-2 pitch, up and coming. Way inside. Evens the count at 2. Swing and a miss. He gets him. So he's got a strikeout an inning. Max Doucette struck out swinging, but wound up at first base when the ball, he chased a pitch in the turf. It got away from the catcher. He was able to reach first base. Then he stole second, but got stranded there. Hit foul right to third base coach. Mike Manning, the coach, made that play in self-defense. Good pitch on the corner for a strike. Way inside. We got our first deuce as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Waves at that pitch in on the hands. So Durant says, Cummings, if you can have a 1-2-3 inning, I can too. He does it with 2 strikeouts. And once again, Classical will have a chance to get on the lead on the scoreboard. 9-1-2 for the Rams in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That little patch of white cloud with the sun peeking through is long gone, and it's not bright on the field anymore. As I mentioned, a couple of other umbrellas popped up. It's been sprinkling off and on, comes, goes. We're into the 3rd inning here. We got a second game. St. Mary's is playing Archbishop Williams in the nightcap. Leon Donnell having a good year for Classical. He's got some big hits in the number 9 spot. Made some nice plays out in left field. From the left side, Donnell. It's a foul out of play. He likes to go the other way. A little inside out swing. Pushes a bunt down the 3rd base line. The catcher makes the play. They don't get him. He beat it. If they let it go, it might have gone foul. That was like, I couldn't believe the outfield was so shallow for Donnell. It wasn't even softball distance. So for the first time, Classical has a leadoff hitter on. And Almani Medina struck out swinging his 1 trip. Squares the bunt, takes the pitch for a strike. Looks like it's starting to rain again. Out in center field, we got some puffy white clouds trying to make their way in. It's been that kind of spring. Medina looking down to Mike Sukowski at third base for a sign. Third baseman Svensson in close. Reaches for that and taps it to second base. They only have one play. It won't be a sacrifice, but it works the same. Just reached out, tapped it to the second baseman. Durant moves over to second. Cal Durant can help himself. He grounded out third to first this one trip. Goes the other way with it. Just foul. Almost found the perfect spot. Now with that overcast, it really gets cold here. That wind really picking up. Tough assignment for these kids in the field, especially the pitcher and catcher are working every pitch, but some of these outfielders, infielders, they got to hang and wait for the ball to be hit to them. They ain't just hanging around in this cold weather. Hit foul back. Strike three called. Big out for Cummings. He's got to strike out an inning. Tyler Wilson doubled and scored the run. And we're going to trip out to the mound. Those white clouds out in the center field are getting a little bit closer. I hope they get a lot closer. Because people now are starting to back up and get under cover with the rain coming down. Not an easy time here at Frazier Field. I just don't ever recall the weather being this bad this long. You get into April, you start, there's some bad days, but usually by the end of April, it's picked up and at least bearable. It's not even bearable here. I give a lot of credit to the fans sitting and watching this game. Hit, bounce, foul. One the count to the Rams center fielder. Cummings stepped off, trying to keep the runner close at second base. Down and in for a ball. Brady Warren on deck. These are the two guys that got Classical back in the game. A two-out double by Wilson, a two-out single by Warren, tied the game at 1. And that's where we are, with a runner at second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Hits it the other way to left field. Starting back, now coming on. Left fielder DeAngelis makes the play. So Classical gets the go-ahead run at second, stranded there. We finished 3 in this GBL battle. Still dead even. Classical 1, Revere 1. Brendan Sack, DHing for the second baseman. Cassidy walked his one trip. He'll lead off the top of the fourth. Waves at the first pitch. Durant starting his fourth inning of work. Way wide for a ball. Guzman had to go way to his right to get that one. On the corner for a strike. You could keep the ball right there. You could probably make a living. Waves at that pitch. Durant keeps his record intact. He's got at least one in every inning. He got two in the third. That's his fifth strikeout. Chris Seca flied out to center field. Down and in for a ball. On the inside corner, good pitch. 1-1 the count. The 2-1 pitch. High and tight, 3-1. Hit right back to the mound. Durant to Spates. So Seca hit it well up the middle, but Durant was able to pick it and make the play. So 2 outs. Ollie Svensson, the third baseman, drew a walk. On the inside corner for a strike. High and tight for a ball. High for a ball again. 2-1 the count. Hit foul past first base. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Waves at the pitch. Another 1-2-3 inning for Durant. He's retired 9 in a row. He gave up the leadoff walk in the second inning. He's got the next 9. 5 of them by strikeouts. We're halfway through the ball game. And we're in the middle of a deadlock. 1-1, Glasgow and Revere. And Glasgow will have 4, 5, and 6. Six strikeouts in 4 innings for Durant. 5 of the last 7 outs, 5 of the last 8 outs have been strikeouts. Brady Warren has singled in a run. A big 2-out hit by Brady Warren. It'll be Brady Warren, Christian Spates, Janelle Guzman. 4, 5, and 6 for the Rams. Starting the bottom of the 4th inning. And most of the Brave fans have moved up under the covering behind home plate. But it's a light rain sprinkling down. And the cold wind adding to it. We'll have 8 Brave fans, or 9. One of them has a big umbrella to protect herself. Still sitting outside. Everybody else has run for cover. Warren, the shortstop, leads it off. Hits it in the air to center field. Moving a couple of steps over to right center is Don Boudreau to make the play. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Christian Spates, he flied to center field his first trip. Missing wide for a ball. Down and away. Nice stop by the catcher, Duchette. In on the hands, he swung right through it. 2-1 the count. Down for a ball. 3-1. Count goes full. Hit it well, hit it foul down the left field line. Strike 3. So he comes back and gets him. We mentioned Durant retiring 9 in a row. Cummings has retired 9 out of 10. He gave up the single to Donnell leading off the 3rd. He's retired the next 5. He hit a 1-2-3 inning in the 2nd. Up and away for a ball. Hit in the air. It's going to be out of play up in the seats right in front of us. High and tight for a ball. Yeah, we got another Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. I thought that was ball 3. And he's got to put everything back on and get back in the box. No, he's not going to bother wearing the pad on his leg. It was ball 3. He was on his way to first, threw the bat. He's making way for... Curveball drops in for strike 3. So he makes it 10 out of 11, Cummings retiring. We finished 4, all the runs in the first inning. The offense has gone completely silent since the first inning. 1-1 at the end of 4. 8-9-1 for Revere as we start the 5th inning. Sal DeAngelis reached in the fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Revere's only had 1 base runner since the first inning. They drew a leadoff walk, and that was wiped out on the fielder's choice at second base. Hit in the air. It's going to wind up in the seats. Klaskell's only had 1 base runner. The leadoff single by Donnell in the 3rd, so pitching has been the difference here. High and tight for a ball. Swing and a miss. Took a good rip at that one and swung right through it. Chops it to 3rd. Figueroa, that throws it away. And Revere's going to get a runner at second base. Duran had retired 9 in a row before the error. He had it, he threw it to the right field side of third base, and it just skipped past Spates. So Revere has the go-ahead run at second, and number 9 hitter, the pitcher, would you think he might get a bunt here? Nice stop by Guzman. Two of the umbrella people are leaving the park. I can't really blame them. A wild pitch. It was a wild pitch that got Revere their run. Now they get the go-ahead run at third with nobody out. So it's been quiet for a while, but now the Revere dugout comes to life. Haskell brings their infield in. Hit in here, foul off to the left side. So they didn't need the bunt. On the inside corner for a strike. Cummings didn't like it. The count evens at 2. Line shot in the left field for a base hit. So the pitcher Cummings helps himself with an RBI. Both runs, well, the first run was earned, this one is unearned. But Revere will take it. We're going to get a runner for Cummings at first base. I think it's Sam Burns. Top of the order, Mikey Pop, ground to the third, fly to the left. Hit foul to the backstop. So Revere has broken the tie thanks to the generous host, Klaska, with the error. And the wild pitch. Popped up. Winds up in the seats. Oh, 2 the count to the Patriot shortstop. They pitched it out. I think they thought the runner was going, but he wasn't. The runner takes off. It was going to be a wild pitch behind the hitter, but it hit him on the shoulder. So the hit batsman extends the inning even further. A run in, first and second, nobody out. Don Boudreau singled and scored the first run, popped to the shortstop. He gets the bunt down, and Durant hits the runner. Did they call the runner out? They're putting everybody back. They're calling the runner out. He get hit with Durant's throw. He ran right down the line. You have to run outside the foul line. They're calling him for interference. And they're putting the runners back. So instead of the bases loaded and nobody out, it's first and second with 1 out. Durant made the play. It hit Boudreau going down the line. And you can't run straight down the foul line to first base when there's a play being made. So they call interference on the runner, and they put everybody back. Swing and a miss. Giancarlo Murd, the first baseman, is grounded to third, struck out swinging. Hit way up in the air. Guzman with a chance. He makes the play. Good job by the catcher. He does a nice job back there. That's not an easy play. He got rid of the mask quickly and tracked it down and makes a big out. Max Doucette, the catcher, has struck out reaching first and struck out not reaching first. He was ducking away from that pitch and hit it foul off the screen, way up and in. Durant got some help on that pitch. In the turf, moves the runners up. So that takes away the force out in the infield at any base for Classical. Now the player would have to go to first. In for a strike. 1-2 the count. Low for a ball. Yeah, we got Deuce as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Classical trying to stop the bleeding. Revere has broken the tie, getting a run. Safe, he beat it, and both runners are going to score. Great hustle from second base by Pop. Just a chop of the third, and Doucette was able to beat it. Figueroa made a nice play. He beats it, and great hustle by Pop coming all the way from second base to score. The runner takes off. In with a stolen base. He overslid the bag and they tagged him, but I think the umpire thought he dropped the ball because he called him. So it looked like he tagged him out after he overslid the bag. So another stolen base for Revere. Brendan Sack, the DH, is the hitter. He's walked and struck out. High and tight for a ball. Hit to third. Figueroa makes the play. So the error opening up the inning, very costly. Not only did it cost them the breaking of the tie, but extended the inning, and Revere got 2 more on the infield hit by Doucette and a great base running by Pop. So they put 3 on the board. They get 2 hits, and one of them was just a little chop with a third. First inning that Durant did not get a strikeout. So Classical has some work to do now. That 1-1 tie is now moved to 4-1. Revere on top. And Cummings on the mound has been tough. He gave up 2 hits in the first. Since then, he's only given up 1 base hit, and that was the only base runner. Leading off the third, but then he got the next 3 hitters. And he got even tougher in the fourth, when the last 2 outs were strikeouts. So bottom 3 in the order for Classical in the 5th. Looks like the rain has stopped, but really wet around here up in the stands and on top of the dugouts. Nico Ramirez popped to the shortstop his 1 trip. Ramirez, Bakuch, Darnell to face Cummings. Low for a ball. Low, Cummings is a big figure now. He's got to be close to 6 feet or more. That one bounces to the backstop. 2-0. Chops it, right? Mike Shukowski, the third base coach, makes a nice play. Hit up the middle into center field for a base hit. Second time they've got a leadoff hit. The other one came in the 3rd. This one comes in the 5th. The run came with 2-out lightning in the first. The other 2 hits. Bakuch hit it well, but Cummings made a nice play, picking it on the mound and throwing him out. Little off-speed curveball drops in. Looks like a little clearing out in the outfield, moving in, hopefully. The breeze has slowed down a little bit. Not enough yet to make it comfortable. Quick throw over to first. Ramirez dives back. Down and in for a ball. Low again. Missing again, 3-0. So he had retired 10 of 11 before giving up the base hit to Ramirez. Now he falls behind 3-0. And he'll be taking a long look or two. And it's ball 4. First time in the game, Classical has 2 base runners. And it comes with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. Leon Donnell got a base hit his first time up. He was the only one to reach after the first inning until now. Low for a ball. Squared like he was looking to bunt. Turned to throw, didn't throw it. Just trying to keep the base runner close. Leon put down a perfect bunt and beat it for a base hit. Third baseman cheating in now. And he tries to push it to third. Didn't square. Was like he was getting a running start. Looking more for a base hit than a sacrifice bunt. Hit foul to the backstop. 1-2 the count. Top of the order, Almani Medina on deck. Wide for a ball coming. Doing a little hop, skip, and a jump on the mound. He wanted that pitch. He thought that was strike 3. Popping up and down, wanted that pitch. Missing again. 2-2. Looked like the umpire was almost going to call that strike 3. The revered JV team has showed up to root on their varsity. The runners were off and running with the third baseman playing in. Darnell fouls it past third. He loves to go the other way. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. They throw it down, and they pick him off at first base. They had the runners going the pitch before. They weren't going on that pitch, but the first baseman was, the runner at first was going. He was way off the bag. First baseman Murd had to wait for him to come back to make the tag. So it looked pretty good for Classical. First and second, nobody out. Looking to get back in the game. It's now a runner at second with 2 outs. Hit foul off the backstop. In on the hands, he swung right through it. 0-2 the count. So Cummings was bouncing all over the place looking for the call through strike. And then he got a swinging strike and then got a big break when they picked the runner off at first. Chopped to the shortstop. They're not going to get him. Infield hit. Once they got by the third baseman, they had no chance of getting Medina. So that extends the inning. Ramirez will go over to third. So first and third. That was a huge pickup at first. They would not have had a play at second base on that. That was going to be a hit. So instead of the bases loaded, 1 out, it's first and third with 2 outs. Kyle Durant can help himself get back in the game. He had bounced to third and was called on strikes. We'll have a session on the mound, and that'll have a little quorum with Classical, base runner and hitter, with Mike Zukowski. So the wheel's turning on both sides. Manning with a long talk, Coach Manning. We mentioned Revere 5-3, but they're 5-2 in the league. Trying to give Classical their first loss in the conference. Up and in for a ball, they let the runner go. So they'd love to get a base hit here and get back in this game. Trailing 4-1. Hit right back to the mound. So Classical leaves 2 in scoring position. They have a runner picked off at first base. We finished 5 in this GBL battle. Revere 4, Classical 1. Kevin Whalen will be the new pitcher for the Rams as we start the 6th inning. So Durant goes 5, gives up the 4 runs. The 3 runs were unearned. The error signed the inning. They would have got out of the inning without the error. 2 walks, struck out 6, gave up 3 base hits, hit a batter. The hit batsman scored. The error scored. Swing and a miss. That pitch was almost in the catcher's glove when Seca, the right fielder, swung at that. He's flied to center and bounced to the pitcher, facing Whalen for the first time. What a great play by Medina. That's a line shot going into center field. He went way to his right, backhanded it, and threw a laser beam over the Spates. And they throw Seca out. Outstanding play. That's an ESPN highlight. Couldn't get to that one. He was too far over to a second base for a right-handed hitter. And Svensson just punched it into right field. He's on for the second time. He had walked and struck out his other 2 trips. Sal DeAngelis bounced into a fielder's choice, and his was the big play. He started the 3-run inning, reaching on the error, and scored the first of the 3 runs. High for a ball. That was the tough inning for Glasgow with the error. That's not the good move. We hope you think that's my good move so you get way off the bag so I can pick you off. Hit foul to the backstop. Didn't miss by much. 2-1 the count. Nice stop by Guzman. 3-1. So after a ground out, a hit and a walk puts 2-1 for Revere. The pitcher Cummings struck out, and he got the big base hit that broke the tie. It was 1-1 when he got the base hit. Knocked in the run to make it 2-1. And he came around to score one of the 3 runs. So he's 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. And he's pitching an outstanding game. Hit to right field, over near the foul line. Cooch makes the play nicely. Cummings going the other way. For the second out in the inning. Brings up the top of the order. Mikey Pop was grounded out, flied out, get hit by a pitch and scored. So that 3-run inning, the hit batsman and the error scored 2 of the 3 runs. And how was the inning is the difference in the game. We could very easily still be 1-1. Pop foul back. On the corner for a strike. Whalen's another one of those underclassmen for Glasgow. Guzman thought that was strike 3. He was going to the dugout. Shot to third. He could have, Figueroa could have tagged third base he went to second for the force out. He could have tagged third. That was a close play. So they leave a couple. The walk and the hit didn't hurt. Classical will have 3, 4, 5 in the bottom of the 6th inning and try to make a little bit of a comeback here. And all of a sudden, those big puffy white clouds are floating in. It's a little smidgen of blue sky over the park. It was pitch black for a while. Now it's cleared up. The breeze has virtually stopped. I can say it's almost getting bearable here. It isn't, but it's almost getting bearable. See Mary's team coming in, getting ready for their game coming up next. So you would think if Klaus was going to do something, they would do it here with 3, 4, and 5. Tyler Wilson, Brady Warren, Christian Spates. Last inning they had looked like a good start. A hit and a walk. But they got a strikeout and a pickoff at first base. They got an infield hit after that, but then they hit back to the mound, got them out of the inning. And the bus pulling in, I believe this is probably Archbishop Williams coming from Brockton. Long haul for them. Tyler Wilson doubled and scored, fly to left. Missing wide for a ball. Cummings starting his 6th inning of work. Chop foul past third base. Cummings gave up 2 hits with 2 outs for a run in the first inning, a leadoff single in the third, 2 hits in the 5th, and a walk. He spread everything out. The second hit in the inning in the 5th came with 2 outs after the first led off the inning. And the walk was picked off at first base. So Klauskel's only had 6 base runners, with one of them being picked off. On the corner for a strike. Jammed him inside, he fouls it off. It's a 2-2 pitch. Wide for ball 3. Missing for ball 4. So for the second inning in a row, Klauskel gets the leadoff hitter on. They do it for the 3rd time in the game. But it hasn't been successful so far. Brady Warren got a big 2-out hit, knocking in the run that tied the game in the first inning. He flied to center his last time up. On the corner for a strike. Tyler Wilson got a big jump at first base, but he has to go back because Brady Warren fouled it off past third. Oh, to the count to the Ram shortstop. They guessed right, but they're not going to get him. First baseman took a long time. Wilson was going. They threw the ball to the first baseman. He took a long time throwing it to second. Wilson, who took off, is able to steal second base. They almost had their second runner picked off. Outfield is awful, shallow. In on the hands, he fouls it back. Center fielder, right fielder. Right fielder's playing a deep second base. Center fielder's not very deep either. Waves at the pitch down and away for strike three. Cummings has got at least one in every inning. He got two in the fourth. So that's his seventh strikeout. Christian Spates has flied to center and struck out. High for a ball. Chop, foul. Just a little number down the third baseline. Kicking out. He was ready, and then he stepped off. High and tight for a ball. Daniel Guzman is the on-deck hitter. Again, Cummings ready and then stepped off. Missing down and in. 3-1 the count to the Ram first baseman. The runner takes off for third, in easily, and they throw it away. Somebody said something from the review bench that the umpire didn't like. Just went over and gave him a little reprimand. So Wilson got a huge jump at third. The catcher just threw it away. Threw it way past third base into foul territory. Wilson scores easily, and it's 4-2. But I don't know what was said by the coming out of the dugout, but whatever it was, the umpire didn't like it. He went over, gave a little reprimand. The 3-1 pitch. Once again, Cummings steps off. I think he was going to pitch from the stretch. He realized he could pitch from the windup. Foul ball. So the count goes full. They just kicked out foul as it got to the third base bag. Lined into center field. It paid off playing shallow. Center fielder Boudreau, a couple of steps to his right, picks off the line drive by Spates. 2 away. Guzman has struck out twice, once called, once swinging. Last time up, he thought he had ball 4. He took off the pad on his foot, threw the bat away, and the umpire said strike 3. In foul territory, Murad reaches across for the one-handed grab. So Wilson manufactures a run with a walk, 2 stolen bases and an error. But Classical's down to their last 3 outs on the verge of their first loss in the conference. It's Revere 4, Classical 2 at the end of 6. Two, 3, and 4 for Revere as we start the 7th inning. In for a strike. Yeah. What a difference an hour or two make in the course of the day. It was pitch black, rain coming down, people moving up back. The young freshman Figueroa with another nice play. Everybody moving up back under cover from the rain, and now there's big puffy white clouds and streaks of blue sky coming up over the outfield fence. The wind has died down considerably. Giancarlo Murad is grounded out, struck out, popped to the catcher. Pitches in for a strike. Whalen in his 2nd inning of work. He gave up a hit and a walk in his last inning, but he got out of the inning. Way wide for a ball. Wide again. Went out to talk to his pitcher. Coach Manning gets to talk to Murad, his hitter. 1 out here in the 7th. Classical's going to need at least 2 in the bottom of the 7th to stay alive, or they're going to pick up their first loss in the conference. Swung right through that pitch. Count evens at 2. That one's hit a mile up in the air, but Cooch, the right fielder, coming on, makes the play. Actually, there's Duran out in right field. I didn't think he was out there because I didn't think they put him in right. I thought they put him in center. Line. Nice. Medina. That ball it hooked on him. It was going up the middle. It kind of sliced away towards right field. He took a 1 step or step and a half to his right, had to come back to his left, and picked it for a nice play. So Whalen pitches 2 shutout innings. He gets a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. But Glasgow, for the first time in a long time, are going to be batting in the bottom of the 7th inning. The only time they did it was the one loss, non-league loss to Reading. And he didn't bat in the bottom of the 7th because that game was canceled in the 6th inning with the rain coming. So they have never batted in the bottom of the 7th inning. But they're doing it now. They need 2 to stay alive. And will be the bottom 3 in the order. And Whalen would be batting in Bakucha's spot in the outfield, so I don't know if they have a hitter. No, Whalen's going to hit. So Ramirez has popped up and singled. Look, he looked like he got Glasgow started in that 5th inning when he got a base hit followed by a walk. They had 2 on, nobody out. But then a strikeout, and on the same strikeout, the runner got picked off at first. And the inning died. So Ramirez, Whalen, and Donnell will be the 3 hitters for the Rams here in the 7th inning. There's some kind of discussion now with the Revere coach Manning and plate umpire. Now they're calling in the base umpire, and I'm not sure what this is all about. Whatever it was, they cleared it up. Everybody goes back to their positions. And we'll get to the bottom of the 7th. So Ramirez will step in. He's DHing for the 3rd baseman, Figueroa. Cummings looking for the complete game. He's starting the 7th inning. Solid shot to left field, over the left fielder's head. Goes back and makes the catch. Ramirez drilled that deep. DeAngelis with a great play. Went back over the shoulder and takes extra bases away from Ramirez. Great defensive play by DeAngelis out in left field. Kevin Whalen, who came in to pitch, replacing Duran on the mound, will hit. He's batting in Bakucha's spot because Duran stayed in the game in right field. Solid shot foul. It just kicked foul before it got to the 3rd base bag. Inches away from extra bases. So the great catch in left field, and now a negative bounce, if you will, for Classical right at the third base bag. Starts the 7th inning. Wide for a ball. Looks like he tried to take something off and drop it in. Waves at the pitch for strike 3. So he keeps his record intact. He's got at least 1 in every inning. That's his 8th. He got 2 in the 4th, 1 in every other inning. And Donnell is the last lifeline for Classical to get on base. He has singled and struck out. He was at bat when Cummings thought twice he had strikes on the outside corner. Hopped up and down the mound when he didn't get the call. And then he struck him out swinging. And on the same play, they picked the runner off at first base. And that was a big part of the game for Classical with 2 on and nobody out. Down and away for a ball. So Revere 1 out away from their 6th win. Swing and a miss. Now they're 1 strike away. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Revere up by 2. And Revere dugout and a few fans. Their JV team is here as well. Chop to short. Big hop for the shortstop. And they called him out at first base. Mike Szulkowski coming up saying he was off the bag at first base. Revere is celebrating. Base umpire saying, I'm not going to the plate umpire. I made the call. I'm calling him out, and that's it. So Mike Szulkowski is not going to get his way. It looked like they were going to throw it away. Then it looked like the first baseman was off the bag. But Murd, with a great stretch, picked the throw. And they call Donnell out at first base, and that's going to end it. So Classical batting for the first time in the 7th inning this year. They pick up their first loss in the conference, their 2nd loss of the season. Mike Szulkowski is still pleading him for talk to the base umpire, but the plate umpire, but the base umpire is saying, no, I made the call. Revere got a run in the 1st inning. A base hit by Boudreau, a stolen base, and 2 major league wild pitches by Durant over the batter's head to the backstop brought the run and made it 1-0. 2 out lightning by Classical. Wilson with a double. Warren with a big 2-out base hit. Tied it at 1. It stayed that way until the 5th inning. In the 5th inning, DeAngelis' ground ball was thrown away. He wound up at second base. He went to third on a wild pitch. The pitcher, Cummings, got a base hit, knocking in the run. Pop got hit by a pitch. Wild pitch moved everybody up. An infield hit by Doucette. He beat the throw. Heavily hustling from second base. Pop scored. The run from third scored. The hustling from second, the run scored. Made it 4-1 at the time. Wilson walked leading off the 6th, stole second. In the process of stealing third, they threw the ball to left field. He scored to make it 4-2. And that was it, as Cummings was outstanding on the mound. He walked only 2. One of them scored. He gave up 5 hits. So only 7 base runners for Classical. 1 was picked off at first base. He gave up 2 runs, 1 unearned, 1 earned. 5 hits, struck out 8, walked 2. Gets the win. He also got a base hit, knocking in a run that broke the 1-1 tie. And he was immense on the mound. For Classical, Medina got a base hit. Wilson had a double and a walk, scored both runs. Brady Warren got a base hit, knocked in 1 of the 2 runs. Ramirez had a base hit. Bakuch drew a walk, and Donnell got a base hit, and that was it for base runners for Classical. It was Classical kind of gave it away with those 2 big wild pitches in the first inning, and then the error starting the inning, followed by a base hit, but then they hit batsman, extended the inning again, and then the infield hit scored 2, and those were the 2 runs that won the game, and probably should not have scored in the inning. They got 3 in that inning, but they probably shouldn't have scored because the Classical would have got out of the inning, but for the error and the hit batsman, and that cost them dearly, and it made 4-1, and Classical was unable to come back, although Wilson got them back within 4-2. So Classical loses for the second time, first time in the conference. Revere will go to 6-3, 6-2 in the conference, and that makes the conference a little tighter at the top in the Greater Boston League. So 4-2, a big 3-run 5th inning for Revere gets it done. They beat Classical 4-2. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.